To authenticate with Bill.com API documentation, start by registering for a developer account on the Bill.com website. This will provide you with a unique API key and API secret, which are required for authentication. Next, choose an authentication method, either OAuth or API keys. OAuth is the recommended method as it provides more security and flexibility. To use OAuth, redirect the user to the Bill.com authorization URL, where they will be prompted to grant access to your application. After the user grants access, Bill.com will redirect them to your application's redirect URI, along with an authorization code. Your application can then exchange this code for an access token, which can be used to make API calls. If you choose to use API keys, you will need to include your API key and API secret in the header of each API request. This method is less secure than OAuth and should only be used for testing or internal applications. When making API calls, make sure to include the access token or API key in the header, and use the correct API endpoint and parameters. It is also important to handle errors and exceptions properly, and to follow best practices for security and authentication. Best practices include using HTTPS for all API calls, validating user input, and storing access tokens securely. By following these steps and best practices, you can successfully authenticate with the Bill.com API and start making API calls to integrate Bill.com with your application. It is also important to note that the Bill.com API has rate limits in place to prevent abuse. So be sure to check the API documentation for more information on rate limits and how to handle them. By following this guide, you can ensure a smooth and secure authentication process with the Bill.com API and start building powerful integrations with your application.